Welcome, everyone. My name is Lori Petrosino. So happy to have you here today. I'm going to be your host, and today you're going to be introduced to a community project in which there are over 250,000 members worldwide since 2016 who have chosen to grow their wealth here. Now, that's because it's got virtually all of the elements which people look for in a wealth vehicle. One, you have passive wealth. Two, we have blockchain transparency. Three, instant withdrawable commissions. Four, there's the anonymity of the project. And five, the validity. Now, what you may have noticed is that the biz op industry, the home business space, it focuses on getting money right now, even 24 hours after starting. And that's perfectly fine to want that, but rarely are we seeing any focus on wealth that has staying power. So many people, as you know, they want to make short-term money, and that program may not be here a year from now. So that's okay if you want to make that money, but put it into a longer-term plan where you know it's going to be here in 36 months. So if the focus is always on how much money can you make right now, how much cash can you make right now, what do you actually have set in place for future income? That's extremely important to think about. It's very important that we have a balance in our portfolio, a project where you can earn cash right now, and a future growth plan. And we have both with Cryptex. So as you guys probably know, a 1 or 2% APY from your bank, it does not get you wealthy. And it usually takes at least 20 or 30 years for you to see any substantial growth to be able to actually use those funds for your future. And that's a very long time to wait. So what you're going to see today will show you how you can set yourself up for big payouts, not in 20 or 30 years, but in 36 months, in 60 months, and in also 84 months. The presentation length today is about 25 minutes. We're going to have some Q&A after the call using the chat feature in Zoom. So you can type in your questions. You'll notice I'm going to address most of the common questions that people ask during the presentation. But if you have a question that is not shown, please type your question in the chat. Also, I'm going to go through some very thorough information in the presentation so that you can make an informed decision for yourself, but just know the project is very simple and it runs on autopilot. So please stay to the end of the presentation, because for those of you who want instant income, you can also do that too, and I'm going to show that. You can earn very impressive commissions as well. So if you would keep your microphones muted, turn up your volumes, and please take notes if you need to. So let's get into it here. So today we're going to be talking about the $100 legacy wealth solution, and this is Cryptex. Now here, you're going to learn some key benefits of being associated with Cryptex. How would you like to benefit from a starting balance of $30,240 or $43,200, but only pay a $100 handling fee? So please take note of the disclaimer before we begin. Everything is associated with risk, even your job. Never risk more than you can afford to lose. There are no guarantees of income. You're responsible for your own decisions and transactions, and income examples are estimates of what you may earn. So what is Cryptex? Cryptex is a community project. Operation is anonymous here. There's no CEO, no company or business. Cryptex utilizes DeFi staking as its point for earning. Cryptex maintains partnerships with banks, insurance companies, and individual account holders, all working uniformly to create wealth for all parties involved. Now, Cryptex provides anonymity for all parties. They're operating since 2016 with confirmed proof of payment and withdrawals from very happy members. There are currently over 250,000 account holders worldwide. So these are the players. You have the DeFi staking contracts, the account holder or participant, which would be URI, the insurance company, and banks. So let's just talk about the basics. This is just the basics behind Cryptex and how it works. The background, which is the method of earning, is called DeFi staking. So what is DeFi staking? It's the process of keeping your assets in a smart contract in exchange for the accumulation of interest. Crypto assets are locked for a contractual period of time in order to generate passive income. This protects the blockchain network's ability to generate crypto profits And as a reward, the staker receives returns. The DeFi staking is considered modern savings account, but it's much more lucrative because daily rewards are possible with staking. Now, Cryptex is averaging 0.1 to 0.3% per day from staking, but it compounds the interest daily, and this accounts for very profitable returns. So what is the product or the asset? That is the DeFi hybrid contract. This would be the contractual agreement that's between the contract, the insurance company, and the bank. Now, the contract contains the provision of capital in USD given by the bank to the contract, and that's for a term of 3, 5, or 7 years. Now, you can have up to 20 contract subscriptions allowed per account, and each contract has a non-refundable handling fee of only $100 in USD. And you can deposit that in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or currently also Bitcoin Cash. This is used for distribution and intersystem operations. What is a DeFi hybrid contract? So a hybrid smart contract is an application that consists of two parts. One, it's the smart contract, which is the code that runs exclusively on the blockchain. And two, a decentralized Oracle code appears off-chain, supports the smart contract. Okay, so let's talk about the account holder, which would be URI, and participation. So with only a $100 USD handling fee, you can secure a 3, 5, or 7-year DeFi staking hybrid contract that has a starting balance of $30,240 for 3 years, $43,200 for 5 years, and $43,200 for 7 years. These starting balances compound over the length of the term. So your Cryptex account has each participant is considered an account holder, and you can open an account anonymously. You only need an email address upon registration. Now, the insurance company. What the insurance company does is insure the wallet for loss and default. And it was developed by the partner insurance company specifically for the Cryptex project. Now, why would an insurance company do this? That's because they stand to benefit financially by receiving secure monthly bonuses from the staking profits from every single contract. Now, they receive this without interruption for the entire agreed term of the contract. This means it's automated, removes the human factor, and assures that the insurance company can collect. Well, what about the bank? Based on the insurance coverage, the partner bank provides the capital based on which contract, a 3, 5, or 7-year contract. Now, the bank benefits financially by receiving secure annual interest from the staking profits. Also, this is set up for them without interruption for the entire agreed term of the contract. Well, what does this all mean for you? It means powerful income by way of these 4 components, and it's generated by compounding. So let's take a look at what the contract expectations are and the power of compounding. So this is a 3-year contract, and you can see the starting capital of a 3-year contract is $30,240. Remember, this is coming in with a handling fee of $100. So you can see on the right-hand side, these are some of the daily interest that comes into this contract, and it's compounded daily. Also, on this 3-year contract expectation, you can see at the top, highlighted in yellow, $30,240 is that starting capital that the bank gives the DeFi hybrid contract. You benefit from that. Now, if you come all the way down to the bottom, you can see where it says 1095. That's the length of days in the 3-year contract. So the total after compounding is 65,337. Now, at the end of that 3-year contract, remember, the bank gave out the starting capital. The bank's going to take it back. They're going to take back that 30,240, and the user, which would be you or I who have a 3-year contract, is left with $35,097 after 36 months on just a $100 handling fee. Now, if we take a look at the 5-year contract, the starting balance is $43,200. And again, same handling fee, $100. You can see on the right-hand side an example of some of the interest coming in daily on the 5-year contract that is compounding for 60 months. So here we go again, the 5-year contract, and this one's wild. $43,200 is the starting balance. If you come down to the bottom, you can see after 1,824 days, the total after 60 months, $514,687 in total after compounding for 60 months. Now remember, the bank had given a DeFi contract $43,200 to begin. They're going to take that back. So what's left for the user is $471,487 for one compounded 5-year contract. So you can see there is a substantial payout difference with a 36-month or 60-month contract. $35,097 for the user returned after 36 months and $487,487 for the same $100 handling fee. You can have multiple contracts. You don't need to have just one 36-month or one 60-month. You can have multiple. This is where it gets exciting. So now you can see here, this is an example of one member who made a withdrawal, and you can see the date here is May of 2022 of $96,700. You can also see this same person has withdrawn $90,500, $75,000, $95,000, $15,000, and that continues on and on. So you can see these are withdrawals made after contract completion. Now here is another, you can see at the top, 100,580, 112,874. These are all withdrawals made by members from completed contracts. This one is super exciting. This contract is going to be completed on November 21st of 2023. And what's important about this contract is that it began 3 years ago. So you can see here, here's the date where you see the arrow. It began on November 20th of 2020, and it will complete this month, November 21st on 2023. And this person is going to have a big payout, and we believe they're actually going to video record it. So we are waiting on that. That is super exciting to be able to see that. So there's blockchain transparency, and this is really important. Transactions can be viewed on the blockchain. And in this image, you can see from blockchain.com Explorer, just one of the wallets that's used by Cryptex for withdrawals. The Bitcoin balance that can be seen here is 51 Bitcoins. And at the current price, that's $1,744,000. Now, this particular wallet made over 110,966 transactions and did a total of over $266 billion in volume. And that's just one wallet. So to see that video that one member did on this blockchain transparency, what I just described, please go to the video and go to dailypaysolution.com. I highly recommend everyone do that. It's an incredible video to actually see that, that our member made. So putting this all together, the customer account has one contract. So an example, one contract, $100. The bank is going to provide the capital to the DeFi staking contract. Now, the staking generates the daily compounded profits for the account holder. Each contract is insured by the insurance company, and at the end of the contract term, the capital lent to the DeFi staking contract is paid back to the bank. All parties earn huge profits from each and every contract. The account holder or participant only pays $100 USD handling fee for this entire process. This is an important screen because this is how it works. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, it's a really good idea. You can kind of read it again and understand exactly how it works, everything that I just went through previously. Each contract compounds daily interest on the starting balance, and it averages between 0.1 and 0.3% per day or higher. One 36-month contract is estimated to return $35,097 in profit for the account holder. One 60-month contract is estimated to return $471,487 in profit for the account holder. But you are not limited to one contract. 20 contracts are allowed per account, and only one account is allowed per user. There is a special package right now that allows 50 contracts, and a lot of people are taking advantage of this. So this is the special package and it's limited. We do know it's going away soon. Could be within the next month, could be within the next 4 or 5 months. We know that Cryptex is currently updating their website, and it's very possible once that's updated that this package will be gone. So what this package does for you is you can get 15 contracts for the price of 10, and you're allowed to have 2 of these special packages. So guys, look at it this way. If one contract yields $35,097 and you have 15 of those, we'll just take out your calculator and do the math because that's pretty incredible. And you can have 2 of these special contracts. So there's 4 contract choices. They're very simple. Each contract, regardless of the length of time, is only $100 handling fee. If you have the 36 months, you have the DeFi hybrid 36-pack contract that I just explained, which is $1,000. You get 15 contracts, so that's 5 free contracts. You have the DeFi hybrid 60, which is 60 months, 5 years, and you have the 84-month, which is 7 years. All of these contracts, except for the 36-pack, is $100 USD handling fee. That's it. And here's an overview of Cryptex primary benefits. You can earn passive income. You can generate interest from staking 24/7, 365 days a year. There's no personal capital needed. I think that's one of the most important things to understand because the fixed capital is coming from the bank. That's your starting capital of $30,240 or $43,200. Now it's very affordable. It's a $100 handling fee. We spend that on random things every day. 36, 60, and 84-month staking contracts, daily compounding, averaging between 0.1 and 0.3%. 20 contracts are allowed per account. There's over 250,000 members worldwide. This is a Bitcoin-based project, 7-year-old project that began in 2016. There's total anonymity for all parties. The capital is insured. There's no financial or contractual obligation to you. And there's an optional builder's plan if you choose to do that. That gives you instant commissionable payouts. There's also the special contract package, which gives you 5 free contracts. So let's talk about Cryptex, building a bridge to successful profitability and how you can turn your dreams into reality. So we're going to discuss Cryptex referral rewards. And these are the 3 aspects of compensation. This is if you feel like sharing Cryptex. You get your contracts, you like it, you're having great results, you want your friends or family to have great results, you can share it with them if you want, completely optional. There are 3 ways to earn. 1, direct commissions. Those commissions are available instantly. Daily profit sharing. That's staking rewards from your referrals, and you get that at the end of their contract period. Then there's leader commissions, which are paid monthly. So let's look at all 3 at a glance. Direct commissions, which are paid out immediately. You can see 3, 5, and 7-year contracts. You earn level 1, which would be your direct person that you sponsored, all the way through to level 10. So on level 1, you're earning 30% of a $100 contract, which is $30. Now you can see with the direct commissions, an example, just one person who buys 20 contracts, for instance, that's 30 times 20, that's $600. It's extremely lucrative. You can see what one member did right here after just 2 months of sharing this program. Now you can see the daily profit sharing. This is paid at the end of your referrals contract. You're earning here from level 1 through to level 20. That's 63% in total. Let's take a deeper look at that. So daily profit sharing, you pay through 20 levels and you get rewarded from your downline's profit share being paid daily, but it's accumulated and you can see it in your back office at the end of their contract. When their contract comes due and they get paid out, let's say on their 36-month contract, you are also going to get paid out. An example is if you had a referral who purchased 15 contracts special, your profit sharing from that one person, if you calculate it over 3 years, averages $40,000 on level 1 if you've personally sponsored them, $25,000 on level 2, and $25,000 on level 3. Now, the third way is the leader bonus, and there's 3 qualifications for leader bonus. 1 is you sponsor directly 100 people who have at least one $100 contract. 2, you have a total of $100,000 volume in your entire team. That's 1,000 contracts. And once these qualifications are met, you receive a $5,000 bonus. And that's 5% of those $1,000 contracts you're paid out retroactively. Now, the third way is 100 new contracts each month from your first or second level, and you are paid 5% additionally to you monthly on all the contracts in your downline to infinity, each contract. So again, let's just talk about that a little deeper. So once the qualifications are reached, $1,000 bonus paid to you retroactively, and you also receive additional $5 per contract on every new contract in your team through infinite levels. Then you just maintain 100 new contracts per month from your first and second level, and you receive 100% of all those new contracts with that extra $5 paid monthly. And let me tell you, that's a nice monthly paycheck when that's coming in. So you can see on the right-hand side an example of a leader bonus after someone reached that qualification that was immediately put into their Cryptex back office, and this is withdrawable commission. So again, this is also an extremely important slide, and we're going to discuss this further. But every $100 contract purchased, you should know that more than $140 is immediately paid out in commissions. How is that possible? I'm going to show you in a future slide. Ongoing, this happens since the beginning of Cryptex. So how could this be possible? If profits were not genuine, this would simply not be mathematically sustainable. But I'm going to show you how it is. So what we're going to do now is go through some commonly asked questions that people usually bring to us when they get started in Cryptex. So we put together this part of the slide so we could answer those questions right here. This is the most commonly asked question. Can I withdraw at any time during the staking term? So generated profit from staked income is available for withdrawal when the contract reaches completion of its duration, not before. So that would be at the end of the 36-month contract, 60-month contract, or 84-month contract. For profit to be able to be generated upwards of $35,000, it's due to the compounding that takes place during the staking period. So the staking contract is locked until the end of the duration. But to earn instantly, you can share the project with others and withdraw anytime you have a balance of $100 or higher. Where does the money come from? Banks loan the starting balance to the DeFi staking contract. We showed that previously. DeFi protocols earn through its lending use during the time the staking pool is locked. So those fees are gained during that lockup period, and then in turn, it can be allocated to the daily profit results. So based on the starting balance, funds are generated through the DeFi staking and compounded 0.1 to 0.3% per day, 24/7 for 36, 60, or 84 months without let up. So the ending balance is the result after the staking time frame. Why would Cryptex only charge $100 per contract for such a return? Well, it's because all parties involved, Cryptex, the bank, the insurance company, and you as an account holder, earn substantial profits on each and every contract purchase. So $100 handling fee is all that's required from the account holder because the bank is going to earn 6.75% per year variable interest rate on each and every 36-month contract, and 5.5% per year variable interest rate on each and every 60-month contract. Now, the insurance company earns $210 per month as an insurance fee for each and every 36-month contract, and they also earn $300 per month insurance fee for each and every 60-month contract. So it is very profitable for them. How can Cryptex pay out above and beyond the $100 handling fee charged? So Cryptex earns on 36 and 60-month contracts $30. So the total is for just the 36-month would be $1,080. Now the bank on just one contract, on a 36-month contract, is going to earn interest after 3 years of $6,123. And on a 60-month contract, they're going to earn $11,880. The insurance company will earn after a 36-month contract, $7,560, and after a 60-month contract, $18,000. That's on one contract. Now imagine you had 15 contracts. The insurance company alone is going to earn $113,400 on a 36-month contract and $270,000 on 15 60-month contracts. So you can see clearly where the money is coming from. Can I sign up my family? The answer is yes, you can, but you cannot place referrals underneath a family member's account in order to stack commissions. But you can build your downline by referring members to your own account. So it's strictly enforced. Don't take a chance where you could lose your account being caught stacking. But yes, you can sign up your family members. Can I refer and earn commissions without my own contract? No, you need to, in order to earn, you need to have at least one $100 contract yourself. How long does it take to receive a withdrawal? So when you request a withdrawal, Cryptex will send you a confirmation email to make sure it's you who asked for that withdrawal. You have to reply yes or no to this email, and the email can take up to 12 to 48 hours to receive. Once they receive your reply though, in a few hours, the withdrawal is sent straight to the wallet that you chose. When trying to log in, why do I sometimes get a message that I'm still logged in? Well, it happens sometimes if you didn't log out of your last session. So suggested is to just wait a half hour and try again. What is the amount received from the 7-year contract? We get this question a lot. It is a massive number. It's just too large to calculate, and therefore we don't share it with others because it's too unrealistic. 0.3% per day compounded on a starting balance of 43,200 for 2,555 days. If you want to do that calculation, go ahead, but it's so large, it really doesn't calculate correctly on a calculator. So we don't focus on the numbers of an 80-month contract, but it's recommended to have multiple contracts of the various durations. Why does the website say contracts sold out? The contracts being referred to are former contract plans which Cryptex no longer offers. Currently, the website that's up now is no longer being updated since they are working on a new website and a new back office, which will contain much more detail. We expect that to be done in the next 2 to 4 months. Now, if Cryptex is running since 2016, why is the website registered in 2021? Well, this is when Cryptex was brought online with a website and back office. And prior to this, Cryptex was not operating publicly. But we could see in those slides that we showed of contracts coming due in 2022, we know those contracts had to begin in 2019. So we know Cryptex has been around longer. How is Cryptex legitimate if we don't know who is behind it? There's blockchain transparency on every single transaction, and contracts executed on the blockchain are irrefutable and stored in a distributed database, which cannot be changed or tampered with. Payments and withdrawals proceed uninterrupted. Now, as you know, past experience in companies who have a visible CEO has proven time and again that that has no bearing on the legitimacy of a company or business. The appeal of Cryptex is actually the anonymity of all parties. Now, this lends to the independence of a frontier project in which there is no interference. So let's talk about the validity points. And I love these validity points. Also, take a screenshot of this because this is a great slide to have. Commissions. Immediate commission payouts are more than what is paid in. So for example, instantly available Bitcoin commissions on a $100 contract pays out a minimum of $140,000 in upline commissions. And we showed you where that money comes from. This would be a ludicrous commission structure, which would collapse very early on. So it's clear from this one factor alone that Cryptex cannot be a Ponzi. Limitation on deposits. Cryptex limits the allowed number of staking contracts per member. Right now, 50 of them. There is a strict limit on how much can even be paid into the system, which is completely opposite of how scams operate. A scam would welcome as much money as you wanted to put in and never limit deposits. I'm sure we've been in many companies like that before. Limitations on deposits reduces risk. Blockchain proof. The blockchain is irrefutable. And thanks to deeper research into just one Cryptex Bitcoin wallet, we have video proof of a very interesting discovery, which is billions of dollars in transactions in just one of the many Cryptex wallets. So please go back and watch that video. Payment proofs. There is abundant solid evidence provided from long-term members of very large withdrawals to their completed contracts, which we've also shown in this PowerPoint. Bitcoin payments shown are in the hundreds. Welcome, everyone.